All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Wrestling Council. If you made it to Yule Carter's channel, that's me. You're watching it live. We sent out tweets, so hopefully everybody saw that. We have a lot of great wrestling talk to thrill you all with. So let's just say over on my side over here, we've got Boogie Bentley. Boogie, say something for everybody.
Something for everybody. No, man, another great week of wrestling. I just want to say MJF is a star. I am starting to buy in on Darby Allin, and the bridges are being repaired. They're being built, and we are going to see. It is going to happen. We are going to see CM Punk step in a WWE ring once again. I don't care that he works for Fox. I don't care that it's not a WWE contract. These are bridges being built. It is going to happen, but let's talk about some wrestling.
Yes. All right. Next up, we have the other first Wrestling Council member down over there in the corner, Antonio. Antonio, let us know a little bit about yourself, please.
Well, I am obviously a YouTuber and a podcaster, and I am a comic book writer. I have a comic book series called Brand. It only has 18 days left on Indiegogo, and then we are shutting that bad boy down. Cardpress.com, take you right there, man.
All right. And is that a successful campaign that you're running?
It is failing. We are at a little over $76,000, almost $77,000. So we are failing. We are going to continue to fail.
We should all fail that badly.
And then last but not least, of course, we have Bob. Bob, can you let everybody know a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a YouTuber. Like Antonio said, I'm a huge wrestling fan, and you guys invited me into this thing, and I am beyond grateful for that. I appreciate that. I have being able to bounce these ideas off of other people is just. It's what it's what we all live to do, especially with pro wrestling like this. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I agree, man. MJF stock just went up. My God.
There you go.
Yeah, without a doubt. All right. So let's start off. Everybody watched AEW's Full Gear, correct?
Yes.
If you didn't, you're off the show for good.
Yeah. Starting with Bob, can you let us know how you felt about the show?
I thought it was great, man. I mean, it's once again the AEW is just showing that as far as the matches that they put on, they're just taking it to a whole nother level. And like Antonio said, I can't think of a single match that I thought was bad. And the twists. I mean, like I said, I had my list of my picks. I got more right than I got wrong. But I got some of them wrong. But I would tell you what, I've never been gladder to be wrong because the direction that they took it in, if they keep you guessing like that, that's entertaining.
All right. Antonio, how'd you feel about the pay-per-view?
Man, I get a big 2 thumbs up, man. I thought Full Gear was exceptional. And actually, one of the first times I've enjoyed a women's wrestling match. I thought
that's the breaking news right there.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, I'll tell you what, man. Hey, but tell you what, if you enjoyed that match on Full Gear, you need to watch NXT, man, because they put on 2 barn burner women's matches this week.
Yeah, that was.
I don't want to do it, but yeah, I thought it was beautiful. I'm just saying, man, yay, women. But I really thought, what was it, Sakura and Riho?
Riho and Sakura
Yeah. I was like, man, but they both so tiny. But I was like, man, look at them whipping through, and they were doing a lot of the things. It kind of reminded me of like Kevin Sullivan, like stepping on the rib cage, doing all these like cool moves.
Yep.
I was like, all right. I was like,
the Tree of Woe, baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When they were doing the street, I was like, yeah, they were really going in. I enjoyed it.
Dude, Sakura did a move I've never even seen before, and that's a rolling surfboard. I've been watching wrestling for 35 plus years, and I've never seen that done before. I love the finish. Dude, they did so many crazy reversals and pinfall attempts. The ending of that match was amazing. My only complaint, and it has nothing to do with the match itself, I don't feel like I think it's the one match on the pay-per-view that AEW didn't do a good job building. I feel like Sakura only showed up the week before on Dynamite.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think they should have done a better job establishing that, because going into it, that's one match that you had to feel pretty confident that Riho's going to win that match and retain the title. Still a good match.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And again, I think that's another one of the weaknesses in the women's division is they haven't really built any storylines for them.
Yeah.
The only one is Brandy and yeah, that's it.
Baker.
Her and Britt Baker, and that's it.
She had a terrible match.
My God.
Her match on Dark was awful. Absolutely awful.
Yeah, I tried to watch her because she's hot, but no, it didn't.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something right now. And speaking of, like I said, when we're talking about NXT, again, hands down, best women's division in wrestling today. And I was watching it, and the thing that I found myself doing with the AEW women's matches is I'm watching the crowd and the crowd's reaction more than I'm actually watching the matches. And I think, and 90% of the time, unless it's one of the top 5 women in their women's division, there's no energy in the matches. I was watching and comparing it to the NXT and trying to figure out what's the difference. And the difference is the emphasis on the moves and the selling. There's no emphasis on any of the other than the top 5 in AEW. They all look soft. Every strike looks soft. There's almost no selling. And you look at NXT, man, every friggin' move they throw feels like they are putting every ounce of power they've got behind it. And when they sell it like they just got hit by a truck. There's energy and there's power in it, and there's none of that in AEW's women's division right now, and that needs to change.
I think the main roster in WWE has a freaking phenomenal women's division.
Yeah,
top to bottom.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, like I said, but I think the difference between WWE's main roster and NXT is how they book them, and the matches that they put together. The matches they put together in NXT, I think, are just head and shoulders above everybody else. But again, it comes down to WWE having so much talent; they should not be playing second fiddle to anybody.
We got to talk about Full Gear before Antonio just leaves.
Yeah.
Leaves the show.
Well, how did you feel about it? Please, Boogie, let me know.
Well, going into it, I told you guys what I thought the best match would be, and coming out of it, I still feel that it was the best match, and that was the World Championship match, as it should be. Cody and Chris Jericho. I love the judges. I love that they did the judge, and people were going, "Oh well, now we know it's going 60 minutes." I never thought that for a second. I think that tells you
they were going to go 60. I thought they were.
I thought they were too.
I think they have their finger on the pulse. If they're hearing that, then they're going to throw you a curveball. That's exactly what they did. I love Cody's mom being at ringside with the Nightmare
awesome.
Family jacket.
Yeah. What do you think about the little dusty shimmy he did?
Oh, I love
was
everything.
So cool.
Cody is so good, and something I like that he did, and this may not mean anything to you guys, but to me, in the world of wrestling, you always work to the left, unless you're in Mexico. You always work to the left. If I'm working your arm, I'm working the left arm. If I'm working your leg, I work the left. If I'm doing a headlock, I do it from the left side. You work to the left. But Chris Jericho throws his finishing move with the right. Mm-hmm. And I love that Cody worked the right arm. And I love that Jim Ross is on commentary and knows what's going on and puts it over and communicates that story. Little things, little details are what make Chris Jericho and Cody two of the best in the world versus some of the other guys in AEW that are still coming up. But top to bottom, love the pay-per-view. I love the finish. You could not have timed it better. MJF throwing in the towel. Then he gets in the ring, and I'm thinking Cody's going to jump him. Cody's going to jump him, and this crowd reaction is going to be weird. Yeah, and then he kicks him in the nuts. Perfect. Absolutely. He waited until Cody said, "Okay, I forgive you," and then right to the balls, man. Absolutely perfect for the World Championship match.
You just said a couple things I wanted to unpack. Okay, number one, did anybody miss Tony Schiavone on Full Gear?
No.
I really, and I love Tony, but one of the problems I've been noticing on Dynamite is it's a little crowded in that announce booth.
Yeah.
They need to, because Tony and Jim do the same thing. It's different. Like, say, if you put Jim with, like, say, Jerry Lawler, which I keep hearing might creep over there.
I've heard those rumors too, man.
Jerry Lawler is waiting on his non-compete clause to expire so he can slide on over. But Tony Schiavone, love Tony. Been watching Tony Schiavone for over 30 some odd years. When they get him and Excalibur and JR together, what do you think, Excalibur? It's like they have to make sure everybody's involved. And then so you start off the pay-per-view and they're like, Tony Schiavone's on assignment. Boom. So now you got JR, which JR and Excalibur, they were doing the Fight Night Japan wrestling thing, weren't they?
Yeah.
Someone else. Okay. That's why on the Fight TV. That's why I saw it. It just seemed like it worked better with those two in there. And I'm like, even when they didn't have Excalibur and it was just Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone, I thought, it seemed a little odd because although JR can do both, he can do more color stuff, and then he can bring it here's a superplexus or whatever, solar plexus. He'll start breaking down and getting all the technical terms in there. I thought that was so I was really happy about the announcing.
I think something that and then remember what you're going to say. I just want to hit this because you're talking about Schiavone. I wish they would give him like a Mean Gene role because he's been doing like in-ring stuff, and he could do that. And then you could get it back to two guys in the booth, like you said, because you're just stepping on each other's toes.
Yeah.
The way they're using him on Dark is the way that they need to use him.
Yeah. Like a studio guy, interview guy. That's perfect.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Because I was like, are they not realizing that it sounds a little crowded when they got all three of them in there together? I was like, how do they not see? Because Tony, when I follow him on Twitter and he tweets out, everybody's sending him like old guy memes and stuff, and he's laughing. He thinks it's funny. But I was like, okay, they got the old guy memes, but dude, it does. And I was like, you got two A mics and they're trying to talk over you, and then they're like, "Isn't that right, Excalibur?"
He's just like, Tope Suicida. Like,
Tope Suicida dive through the top.
I love Excalibur, though. I love
There were a lot of suicide dives.
Yes. That is, you know what? And that might be one of the only complaints that I've had about AEW is that there's a lot of repetition. But it's good repetition.
It is. NXT, and then eventually when those guys would graduate to to Raw or SmackDown, they brought a lot of those, and it's just seemed like everybody, that's their kind of like transition move, like a DDT used to be.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Speaking or you're seeing people like what's the guy like Badass Billy Gunn is in AEW. All those guys are all like agents. Is anybody surprised that we haven't seen I fully expect, even though his daughter is in WWE, I fully expect, since all the other horsemen are over in AEW, to see Ric Flair. Oh, that's coming. I mean, like, not to mention, he just had a legal thing against him a couple months ago, the Becky Lynch, the man thing, and then they gave him some money. Triple H was like, come on, Rick. You screwed up. I
just want him to be careful. I don't want him to go too much down that path. Like, when Arn came out and hit the spine buster, sure, it's fun to see Arn Anderson hit a spine buster, but I want to see the new guy. It's going to turn into what TNA was, where you got Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair and all these guys.
I would like to see the Horsemen come together, the original Horsemen come together and pass the torch.
But another thing I expected we're going to see, although since it involves Bray Wyatt's father and Bray Wyatt's uncles, I expect to see the Wyndham family. Eventually, obviously Bray Wyatt is the son of Mike Rotunda, IRS, and his uncles are Barry Windham and Kendall Windham. It's like, but it seemed like they would fit over in AEW. So
where the heck is Bo Dallas? Because that's Bray Wyatt's brother. Where the heck has he been?
Jobbing,
buried, jobbing,
live events, house shows, probably.
No, they actually the B team was actually on. Was it Raw or SmackDown? They were just on there, and they got crushed. So
yeah, that's right.
But
poor Bo.
Yeah, but you had some other things you were going to say, Antonio. What was it?
The thing about AEW seemed to make a point of letting us know that they had a woman as the see, that's why I don't buy stuff like that, because if you have to tell us that you're doing it, then you're doing it for the wrong reason.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, that's coming. You know where that's coming from? That's coming from Brandy. That's coming from Cody's wife.
I kind of felt like they played it. You know how like NFL officials, if they do well at the end of the year, they'll get the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of what they were very quickly alluding to.
Well, they give her give her the title matches every single.
Oh yeah, every single time. Yeah.
Well, she's not a bad referee. I like Rick Knox, but me and Yule and our PW.
Yeah, Rick Knox. But he's good at screwing it
for
up.
different reasons. You know, it's like they was like, you know, she's like Rick Knox is good at this, and so I was like, okay.
Well, are they going to become the woke wrestling federation?
Well,
because it's possible. It's
very possible. They got it seems like they're all the check boxes. So
yeah, Brandy is a big fan of AOC, so. So,
well, even still,
so I won't hold it against her.
You know, they also have a very somewhat hipster crowd at times.
Yeah,
not necessarily where they were, for Dynamite, but Jericho made sure to let everybody know he was in like hick territory and stuff like that. Good Jericho stuff.
What you guys think of the lights out match? Was it too much? Because there was an eerie, almost silence at certain times. I loved it because I love death matches. I love violence.
Oh, dude,
I want to talk about that, but there was one thing I did want to mention about the Jericho and Cody Rhodes match. I think, you know, when I saw that bump that he took where he started bleeding, I watched it a couple times. I think he cut it. I'm pretty sure he cut himself.
No, that was hard.
No, he doesn't. No,
when you gig, it's a straight line. There is no way he could have done that curve the way.
Okay, because I was like, he had the little, you know, sometimes they had the little thing in the wristband. And, because he's bleeding all over. I was like, did he just do his dad's thing and just cut himself? I was like, okay. But
if he bladed, they're not going to come out and check him. The commission legit was checking. Because certain commissions, if it's too bad, they won't let. Some commissions won't even let you blade.
Yeah. There was something I tweeted out about a week ago. There was an Asian wrestler that the Young Bucks had. They had his back, I guess, over in TNA or whatever. They were trying to get him to blade, and he wasn't cool with it.
The TNA was trying to get him to blade, and the Bucks backed him up because he didn't want to do it.
Yeah, he didn't want to do it. That's why I was like, I was like, did he blade? But I was curious about that. But then I saw there was some video his Cody Rhodes' sister took of their mom actually stitching him up in
she was like a nurse or something.
It definitely didn't look straight because I've noticed a lot of times when the guys cut it is straight.
I was watching the show with my girlfriend, and she thought they did too good a job in the match covering up because he should have been bleeding a lot more. It would have been better.
Well, what happened is
I agree. When they wiped it off, it hurt it.
Yeah, it was like, what? Oh no.
Well, that's because it was a real wound, and when the doc came out, they put real coagulant in there, and they stopped that sucker.
On the ref too, because I was like, that's what they do in the NBA and stuff. When the guys start bleeding, because ever since Magic Johnson, announced that he was HIV positive, whenever there's blood, they automatically put gloves on and stuff like that. So I was like,
now there was all right. So during here's something during the death match or whatever, lights out match, the referee, was he changing his gloves or was he finally putting them on? Because it seemed like weird that he wanted. I mean, there had already been blood and stuff.
I think he was just putting them on at that point.
Yeah,
it was
already
weird.
Blood.
But what do you think?
The mouse traps. I don't know if everybody was really into that part.
No, but I'm gonna tell you what, man. I can understand why some people were a little put off by that. But I'm with Boogie, man. I remember like the old days of Terry Funk, man.
Oh
my God! You want to talk about someone who was in some hellacious stuff?
He destroyed his body.
Watching his King of the Death matches in Japan with him and Cactus Jack in the finals. with the bar ropes. I love that stuff.
God.
But are you gonna pull the casual wrestling fan over? Are you gonna pull Uncle Johnny and his 8-year-old son, and then they see John Moxley, who is a lunatic, doing this, the barbed wire stuff? The glass was fake. It was so fake.
It was breakaway glass. It was glass.
You don't take bumps on glass without bleeding. Like the barbed wire. As soon as they start using the barbed wire, they're both bleeding like crazy. The glass was fake. My biggest problem, other than if you're going to grow and pulling casual fans, my biggest problem is this only, and they kind of played into it with what Moxley was talking about, but this is only to save records. Is this the way that you have this big blowout match, but it doesn't hurt because records matter here in AEW?
I think that's part of it.
It doesn't hurt the character.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt the character. But then there was that other announcement by the Bucks where they were talking how
we're going to reset
it. The points were going to reset. And I'm like, well, I could understand that if it was like a yearly thing or something like that, but you can't have a reset this fast.
But that's the problem with wrestling. As soon as they said the records are going to count, that's so hard in wrestling because wrestling works in cycles. You work your way to the top, you lose, and then you cycle back down, you do the job, you circle back around, you get hot. But if you got a guy that's 22-75 and then he wins 12 matches in a row, you're going to flash up that horrible record on the screen?
Yeah. That's why it's I think we all knew that they were going to use this as a storyline angle thing. But if you're gonna commit to if you're gonna do a bit, you got to commit to the bit.
Yeah.
And I do like the fact that when Moxley came out and he just absolutely planted Michael Nakazawa, he pointed down and goes, "Does that one count?"
Yeah.
I like the fact that they're doing that angle.
Oh, his promo was again. He feels like a different person. I thought
he loves what he's doing now.
Yep. He was so stale in WWE, and he's such a talented guy. But it's like you can just see that dude is loving it.
Yeah, but I thought the pay-per-view was great. I personally didn't mind the lights out match. I get the people that are having issues with it, and I agree with you, Boogie. I don't know that this is the kind of match that's going to draw in new fans who aren't like part of that hardcore culture, which really doesn't really exist much anymore.
It's probably my second favorite match of the night.
Yeah,
but I used to also wrestle in the backyard before I started professional wrestling. I've done the barbed wire, I've done the light tubes, I've done thumbtacks, I've done it all. I've done all that stuff. I've bladed, I've done it all. I love hardcore wrestling. I love it.
I'm out of that. I'll watch it, but I'm squeamish around sharp objects.
17-year-old Boogie in the backyard in front of 12 of his friends, just taking thumbtacks to the back.
Oh,
okay. Speaking of of Jericho and the title match, what did you guys think about? Of Moxley. What did you guys think about Darby Allin coming out to that, given that challenge?
I love it.
On Dynamite. I thought that was I thought that was awesome. I think they're doing a good job of really building him up.
He is over like Rover.
Oh man,
a little wiry.
See, I didn't like him either.
Yeah,
Antonio.
I'm not as into him either.
I wasn't either, but he is winning me over, man. And he's got the fans eating out of his palm.
He's going to have that physique.
Moxley's got to kick his ass.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
I don't think. Yeah, Moxley. I think they're building Moxley up for a title run here very shortly.
Yeah, he can swing either way too.
Yeah, because I think
he can be heel or not so heel.
Because there's talk that they're going to be introducing another title belt. I think they're talking like maybe a TV title belt, and then eventually they're going to do eventually like a North American or
I wish they would just
an IC title.
I wish the women's, the men's, and then a mid card belt and the tag titles.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah, a mid card belt would be and I want them to do the mid card belt the way that they should. Like people want to get that mid card belt because it's an avenue to the title. To the world title. That's the way it needs to be used. But I can see them putting that on Moxley here very shortly.
I'm with Yule. I think he's going after the main strap. I think we're going to see him and Jericho.
Going back to Jericho really quick, and also Terry Funk, he really reminds me his run right now of kind of like doing for AEW what Terry Funk did for ECW.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I'm this old guy, and I kind of got My body's not as great. But I'm gonna teach these guys how to do a promo. I'm gonna teach them how to work, how to I don't need it. We don't need to go to the the performance center to figure out how to do this all the time.
Let me tell you something. Teaching somebody how to do a promo. MJF is what, 22, 23?
Wow.
He went toe-to-toe with Jericho, unscripted. And his promo, the one that he said, hold on, Christopher. Dude, they were I was dying.
That was so good,
Maxwell, Christopher.
But Jericho then went up again.
But his promo before he even engaged Jericho was next level.
Can we all give a moment of just credit to him pulling out the Juventud Guerrero joke?
Oh, that's so great.
It's so good. He's like, who the hell is Juventud Guerrero?
Franklin Barrett, I'm already in the inner circle, brother. Ask Chad Johnson.
But yeah, man, they're doing a really good job. Like you said, Jericho is doing what Jericho does so well. He is building other people up. He's putting them over. And
when he finally does lose it, it's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome, man. And I said, I think AEW Dynamite this week was it was a good show. I do think there were a couple of weak moments in it, though.
The TV shows are always going to be.
Yeah, but I still thought overall it was really, really, really good. I know some people were asking questions about why is Jericho and Sammy challenging for the title when you've got Santana and Ortiz.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why not them? You've got a bona fide tag team there that you can help continue building this tag team division. But I think is like the heat's on Jericho right now, man. You got to feed off of that. And I think that's what they're doing. And not to mention the fact that Sammy Guevara is just getting better every week. You know?
One thing we were going over Full Gear, no one mentioned the Fallen Angel. Did anyone care about that?
Christopher Daniels. The Fallen Angel is back.
I thought that was anticlimactic.
I thought it was cool, man.
If he would have come out and it actually would have affected the match,
I
think it would have looked a little bit better.
It was like when Jericho dressed up like him. It was so much more meaningful. This felt pointless to me. I didn't like it either, Antonio.
I didn't know it was him.
Yeah,
but
really, you didn't know? Oh, when he came out, I'm like, it's freaking Daniels. He's back.
I didn't realize. I thought he was like seriously injured. I didn't realize.
But speaking of returns, Luchasaurus is back.
Yeah, that was good, but it was so slow. I was glad he's back, but it was so slow.
The problem with that whole situation, though, is I don't think they really have a direction right now for either the Dark Order or Jurassic Express. They're just kind of putting them out there. Mm-hmm. Jurassic Express has got Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, I think they got a lot of good momentum on them. The Marco Stunt thing, obviously it was because Luchasaurus was injured, but how many times is this that they've gone up against the Dark Order and they've lost again? And you've got the Dark Order just kind of languishing here. They got to pick a direction for these guys.
Mm-hmm. Got a lot of tag teams getting lost in the shuffle.
Yeah. But I just thought it was cool because man, tell you what, man, the crowd popped like crazy when Luchasaurus popped back out. So at the very least, we're going to get that back.
What's interesting about that is because the way when Jungle Boy teams up with Marco Stunt's taking the heat, and Jungle Boy's taking the hot tag, and he took a great hot tag on Dynamite. A lot of fire, a lot of energy. I love the guy, but then if he's teaming with Luchasaurus, he's taking the heat, and Luchasaurus is going to take that hot tag. So it's interesting. I love Jurassic Express. You're 100% right. They're lost in the shuffle, and I was surprised that the Dark Order actually won that match, but I don't know.
I don't know, man. Like I said, the Dark Order just seems to be kind of languishing there. Like you said, they're so tag team heavy in AEW, which is a good thing because you could put together some amazing matches. But I want to see them start to push some of these other tag teams in a couple of a little bit of a storyline here. But switching over real quick to NXT, man, I thought this. I'm going to say something, and some people are probably going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? I thought NXT put on the best show this week.
I think so too.
I thought NXT,
hot matches.
But my God, man, there were some fantastic matches on there.
That opening match was amazing. Garza and Leo Rush.
Yes.
So good.
And you know what?
Yeah,
and I know
Leo Rush was good.
And that's something else we need to talk about is the editing of the audio that's been going on. But someone's there were reports that they actually edited out some of the reaction to Leo Rush. But I gotta give the guy credit, man. Him and what's his name? Angel
Garza.
They put on Angel Garza. Yeah, they put on a really good match, and it ended with some controversy. So there's a little bit of storyline developing there.
Yeah, I was fully behind Garza on that one.
That's what they're saying. That the crowd was very heavily behind Garza, but they edited the audio to make it look like it was more like they were behind Leo Rush. Which not taking anything from Leo, he put on a fantastic match.
He was very good. I did not hate him in any way as far as the match was concerned.
But man, that friggin' Io Shirai and that Io Shirai, Mia Yim, man. I kind of talked down on Mia Yim a little bit last week. I gotta give him credit, man. That was a hell of a match, and the fact that she bladed, she bladed in that match. It wasn't much of one, but because it was they did the whole ladder thing. But both of the women's matches were great, and I'm just really stuck on Io. I think she's awesome. Okay, but that match between Keith Lee and Roderick Strong, Keith Lee just continues to impress me, man. That guy moves like someone has half his size. But I'm actually I've never been the biggest fan of War Games, but I'm actually very, very interested in War Games this year.
The other running theme in NXT was all the ladies were getting knocked out behind the scene.
Yeah.
I don't think we saw any WWE wrestlers though, right?
No, at the very
That's right.
Yeah. Bailey beat down Shayna real quick.
I see. I think Dakota is going to turn heel. What do you think? On the NXT, the ladies.
Yeah, I think so. The whole thing with the roster choices and everything.
Yeah. And she's like coming out and I'm trying to be helpful and all this other stuff. I think her heel turn will be a little bit more thought out over the time than maybe like that MJF. I don't know if everybody seemed like know that it was going to happen. It seemed like on the internet and things like that. I don't know if you guys thought that. I thought someone in here thought it worked out well.
I thought it worked. I thought the MJF thing worked out well.
It just I don't know. It felt obvious a little bit more. I thought it would like last longer until this happened.
That's the only.
I liked what happened as a result of it. It felt a little clunky, is all.
Yeah, that's the only complaint that I have for some people is that they thought they could have stretched it out a little bit more. But I mean, considering how high the stakes were in that match,
do you think this is their out for that? Because going into it, Antonio talked about earlier that he thought Cody was going to win the title. Yeah, and when you make a statement like that, I will never challenge for the title again. If you do, you're spitting in the face of the wrestling fans. You're telling them, Vince McMahon, I'm going to do whatever I want. I'll say loser leaves town, and then they'll come back next month. I hate that. But is this their way out because MJF threw the towel in?
I think it could be because he didn't technically lose. The match was basically called off. He didn't lose.
But he did lose. Chris Jericho won the match.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That it's. I think they're going to use this to try to paint a gray area.
I don't like it. I wish he would have never said that. I don't like the stipulation.
Yeah. Well, as soon as he said that, I knew that was like this is going to be problematic in the future.
Well, also he didn't say I won't ever challenge you again for the title. He said I won't challenge for the title again
ever again.
And that was the problem that I had with it because I was like, dude, you're in the wrestling business and you're only 34 years old. Of course you're going to challenge for the title again. I was like, I thought you'd say, I won't challenge you for the title again. But he specifically said, I won't challenge again for the title ever.
They seem very wrapped up in people not wanting them to win. Don't. The typical promoter always puts himself on top. Promoter's always the champion. But at the same time,
did that in TNA.
That's what everybody wants.
But listen to the people, right?
Yeah.
The people
that makes sense to
dying
me.
for Jeff Jarrett to be the champion the whole time. They want Cody
Jeff
to win
Jarrett
that
was
belt.
buying for him to be the champion.
Exactly. That's the difference.
So I think you're right. I think they are going to use this as it's either going to be they're going to use this, or they're going to try to work some kind of an angle or stipulation where basically Cody, maybe when Cody turns heel, because I get the feeling we're going to eventually get a Cody heel turn.
Oh, yeah.
Where Cody he'll be challenging the babyface title holder and saying, "Okay, you want me? You got to put that up."
Yeah.
You know,
doing
something like that. That would probably be the best way to do it.
Unless,
but doing it, yeah.
If you can get everybody, like on the fans, on board, I mean, to go against what he said, I mean, that would be very, very good.
It's
also,
still crap that people would rip the WWE apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what, when I look at it, especially doing this podcast, I'm obviously an AEW fanboy, but I try to look at it neutral and say, what if it's like Private Party's entrance? If you came out with that stupid security rope in the WWE, I would say you look like an idiot. So when Private Party comes out, I say they look like idiots. When they have a shirt that says, "This ain't water," you look like an idiot. You can wrestle, but you look like an idiot.
You can't drop standards just because you like the people.
Right, exactly.
But speaking of WWE, what did you guys think about Raw?
Did I watch it?
I watched,
I can't remember.
I watched the highlight package of it on YouTube.
I got to find my notes. I had my notes set up on SmackDown just because I wanted to mention how great the MJF promo was, how great Moxley is on the microphone, and over on SmackDown we got Baron Corbin using the words doggy poop bag in a promo.
Oh, God.
That sums up WWE in a nutshell.
Every time, and look, it's nothing against the guy. I know it's the way he's been booked, and it's the character that they're making him play. I can't stand. I can't stand it when Baron Corbin is on.
But let me ask you this:
in that stupid crown, and I'm like, come on, dude.
Yeah. So is that a legit heel? Is that a legit heel? Because in today's wrestling, the heels do cool stuff, and we all like him. Kevin Owens is a heel. Oh, he's cool. But guess what? I don't know anybody that likes Baron Corbin. I don't know anybody that thinks he's that.
So that's a true heel.
Yes,
no,
it is.
I gotta want to see him get beat up, though.
Okay, here's the problem, though. Yeah,
do you just want to see the bad guy get beat?
But
or do you just are you bored with the bad guy?
That's the problem. That's the problem, Antonio.
I don't want to see him get beat. I just want to turn the channel. I just turn the channel.
That's why I meant, like Ric Flair, you're like, I want you to kick Ric Flair's ass, Ricky Steamboat. Ricky Steamboat.
Whereas Baron Corbin comes out, it's like, oh God, here we go again. He's going to talk about dog poop.
And that's the one good thing about Raw was there were a bunch of matches this time. There were actually, I think there were 7 matches on that.
But one of them was Drew McIntyre versus Sin Cara, which is pointless. One of them was R-Truth chasing the Singh brothers around the ring, which is pointless.
Let Drew McIntyre come to AEW.
Oh my God.
Such a good wrestler, man.
He's too good. He's too good to be languishing over there like that. But and the other thing, please, for the love of God, stop with this Lana friggin' Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
I'm
I tweeted that out the other day. Rusev is saying that they have the hottest storyline in wrestling right now. And
I fast forwarded through it. I ain't watching it anymore.
Yeah, again, I turned the channel. I didn't want to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrible. It's
like you gotta know that they're screwing you, dude. He's like, oh well, we got to collaborate on that. They got our inputs on it and all this. So it's like, so I've had a say in the storyline. I was like,
maybe they're
freaky. You gotta see that they're.
I bet he likes it because they're on TV, maybe instead of not being on TV.
Yeah.
I would rather just not be on TV.
And can we also talk about the fact that Lana doesn't have her accent anymore?
Yeah, I was just talking about that this week at work.
Remember when Kobe Kingston lost his accent and Triple H goes, "Hey man, where's your accent?"
I thought you were Jamaican.
Did you ever see when Booker T went over to TNA and he developed a Jamaican accent?
Yeah, I remember that. It was like slowly but surely.
Yeah, and he still kind of kept that King thing going on over there. It was pretty fun.
Booker T, I love, if you're not subscribed to his YouTube channel where they show his little podcast and everything, he's got great guests on there. He talked about who's the brother that went off at, you know, the one with the racist T-shirt that went off.
Yeah, Jordan
ACH. Dude, he had another one this week too, brother.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Who wants to talk about that?
Oh man, that dude nuked his career. I mean,
Antonio, did you see the new one? I retweeted it. The new video he put
about it because it had the clip in there and everything, and he I know people are trying to talk to him, you know, and I just don't. Boy, you're gonna be at the state fair a lot, brother.
He even said that his name is racist, and then there's this like clip of him talking about how he came up with it.
Yeah,
it's
you know
like,
what it is.
What? And it's
once you go down that road,
I can like if he truly believes that that shirt was racist and that he was lied to, because there was more to the story about how he said he went to WWE's merchandising VP and gave them an alternative shirt, and they said, okay, well, we'll take it to Vince and Triple H and everybody, and then came back and said, well, they decided to go with the original, and then he talks to Triple H and Triple H said, nobody never asked me anything. If that's true, I can understand it being angry, but dude, you don't go full on Antonio Brown.
Oh, God.
I mean, he like literally, this is like Antonio Brown territory. He nuked his career because whether he's right or not, no friggin' organization is going to want somebody who goes off like that.
Well,
they're not going to want to deal
so
with
much in the South anyway. That he would be. It would. They're doing what Ric Flair used to talk about. You know, booking. Just when you go to the West, you only go to specific places, and then everything else is like Chicago on down and to the East. And that's, you know, that's Ric Flair said that if they had just kept WCW booking in those territories and only dabble over there in the West, then WCW probably wouldn't have went out of business. But, you know, and I think AEW is following that business line, you know, because it seems like everywhere they're booking is straight up like strong Southern territories, strong Northern East Coast territories. And then, okay, let's go to Vegas. You know, that kind of thing.
There were pictures of some of the places that they've been going to not having quite the attendance, or they were blacking off, you know, tarping off a lot of the area.
I saw one of the Titans went to when they were at the Municipal Auditorium. You know, there was some football players there at the when they were in Nashville. So I was like, okay.
But I think AEW is definitely tapping into the old school NWA WCW format, and it's a good idea. But even like I said, even a company that's as progressive as they are, I mean, they've got like what? I mean, they got Sonny Kiss on their roster, for God's sake. They're not going to touch him after this. I mean, it's like he flat out nuked his career. Just I mean, like, wow.
You're talking about ACH still, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just for everybody else.
Yeah, for everybody else.
Booker talked about that because we had all tweeted out, because I know about 2 weeks ago when this first started popping off, I tagged y'all into Booker talking about that storyline, and he was like, every time they did merch for me, we talked about it, everything. You know what I'm saying? And he was kind of, you know, some people were like, you know, hey, he's black, you automatically have to assume the white guy is racist, you know, all that kind of thing. And Booker was like, no, every time we did a storyline and stuff, we talked about it, everything, you know, that kind of thing. And then so when he said he was quitting, you know, Booker T came out again and said some stuff, and I was just like, oh man, that's being young and dumb, and I don't know. Even if you have a problem, you need to handle it a different way, you know.
And I just, you know, like, and he's a talented guy, you know. That's the sad part, is that he's got potential. He's got real potential.
To Japan or something. You know, I have to go over to Japan. But you can earn a living over in Japan. You can earn a living over in Europe.
Yeah, but would you, considering how big of a North American audience that New Japan has now, would they want him?
Please, they love black wrestlers over in New Japan.
Yeah, I mean,
love black wrestlers over there.
But,
you know,
man, if he doesn't like the WWE for racism.
That's some of the stuff they've done. I've seen some of the angles that they've run on black wrestlers over in like Japan, and it's cringeworthy. So
just being an American anyway, probably a bit, but then.
And the fact that like you said, the fact that so many wrestlers come out and says, no, we always talk this stuff out. And I actually saw a couple people saying that this thing was a work. I was like, dude, there is no way in hell that's a work.
Yeah, when it started,
maybe. But
when it started, maybe, but no way after that last Twitter blast. Ain't no way in hell.
It was crazy out there.
Oh my God, man. I'm like, dude, if that's setting you off, I hate to see what happens when some real racist stuff goes down because you're gonna kill somebody.
Not to mention, if it was a work, they would talk about it on the air. They are quiet as a church now.
Yeah, so they're just lying there.
Oh yeah, he's done. He's done. He's either fired or he'll quit. It doesn't matter. He'll never wrestle for them again.
So
exactly.
Speaking of works and shoots, Boogie, who came back this weekend?
I guess the man, the myth, the legend, CM Punk.
Yeah.
Did you watch it? It was so awkward.
It was very awkward.
It's like they're like, oh, we got a surprise, but we don't know what it is. And then his music hits, and Paige is like, "Is this a rib?" And then he comes out, and you're in a studio, buddy. You're in a studio, and he comes out going,
"Yeah."
Who are you looking at, the cameraman? And then he gets in the ring. I thought it was pretty funny.
Somebody tell my mama.
After all the
that's gonna be your song, Antonio.
Yeah,
I love that.
I can't believe he let them play him like that.
I love the after all the Jordan Miles stuff and for the culture, and then Punk comes out and goes to the microphone. He's like, "I'm here to change the culture." It's like, is that a rib? What is going on?
Oh man!
Look, the thing is, it's a Fox deal. I thought it was interesting because Punk said AEW only texted him, but it has been confirmed.
They offered him a boatload of money.
Yeah,
he met with Tony Khan in person. Huge, fat stack of cash. So that tells me one of two things: either he's going after that huge one shot payday in Saudi Arabia. That's a possibility. Yeah. But what I really think it is he's just going to take Fox's money and show up part-time schedule to talk about wrestling and then go home. Or does he want to transition into some type of gig? I mean, he's a big hockey fan. He's obviously MMA. He could do anything with Fox. Who knows? Who knows what he
acting, which those movies weren't very good.
So. Yeah.
Oh God, I tried to watch that last one he did about the haunted house.
Yeah. See.
Yeah. That was bad, man.
I just don't understand.
I'm like, ugh.
I just don't understand if he wanted.
Yeah, they aren't. I forgot he wrote comics too.
If he wanted to wrestle, why not go to AEW? He's friends with the Bucks. I don't think he does either. I really don't think he does either.
I think he's done. I think he's just like he keeps it alive because it keeps him in there. It keeps him in the mind's eye.
Yep.
Keeps him in the mix.
He did an appearance at one of the AEW events before they went, got Dynamite.
Yeah,
so
but that's because it was at
it was Chicago,
in Chicago in his hometown. Yeah,
and it wasn't even AEW; it was Starcast. Yeah. It was Conrad Thompson's big thing.
You.
What? I don't know. I don't understand.
One thing I've noticed. I mean, we've gone almost 50 minutes here, and the biggest bomb drop of the week. Sin Cara asked for his release.
Yeah, and
it's like, and what are you gonna do? Like, what the heck? What?
Well, Sin Cara? He's not even the original Sin Cara anymore. I can't remember who he was. He was one of the guys that rode the lowrider bicycles. Maybe I can't remember.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He was one of those two guys.
The other guy got fired, didn't he, or something? Yeah, he got hurt, and then he got fired, and then it's just
they just wanted to make their own luchador so that they can, have action figures, and anybody could theoretically play this guy too.
So he can come out and lose to Drew McIntyre and have a 2-week deal with Andrade. How about that, man? I was so disappointed in that. Andrade and Cedric Alexander are two of the best pure wrestlers on the freaking roster. And they handcuff him and give him a short little match that means nothing. I saw Cedric Alexander wrestle Roderick Strong in North Carolina in front of maybe 150, 200 people, and have one of the best wrestling matches I have ever witnessed in person. Cedric Alexander can freaking go, man. He is so good. And they just don't it's the freaking typical WWE. I hate it. Go out there and have a 4-minute match.
You gotta watch NXT still if you want to watch like a good match.
Another question I have is Jake Hager injured? Because looks like. Is he still? Is he on a?
I think it's his Bellator deal.
Okay, because I was like, I noticed this, all he's doing is just beating guys up, and he's not really wrestling. He's just showing up and not talking, and
he's Jericho. He's Jericho's heater. He's Jericho's heater, which I love. And we didn't even talk about Wardlow coming out. I love that. Yeah. Give MJF a big heater. I'll stand here and run my mouth, and then my muscle stand there with his arms crossed. That's what Antonio's going to do for me. I'm going to run my mouth, and he's going to look at that. It's perfect. Antonio's my muscle. Get
that neck swole. Dude, I completely forgot about the Wardlow thing, man. But yeah, I agree with you, man. Cedric Alexander. This is one of those things where you're looking at these guys going, these guys at any other promotion they would be at the top.
Or if they wrestled each other on a pay-per-view. That's where WWE does let them go on a pay-per-view. Go out and have a great match.
They'll be on like their pre-show or something like that.
Put him in the cycle for the mid-card title at least, man. Why aren't these guys fighting for the IC title or? Yeah,
that would be nice.
But he's done his time though in the minor leagues. I mean, I'm sorry, AEW, but I'm saying like as far as WWE looks at them. As like a minor league.
I'll kick you off this show, even though you're hosting it.
It's going to be hard.
I'll figure it out.
You know, Triple H is looking at them.
And
Vince as lower or beneath them, and even though AEW won in the ratings again compared to NXT.
But that's the thing. That's the thing.
Actually,
if they were going head to head with Raw, they wouldn't be winning.
No, they wouldn't.
Who was it that cut the promo and took a shot and Cody Rhodes talked about? I can't remember the champion guy. He was part of the Shield. I can't remember his name.
Roman Reigns.
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins.
Yeah, Seth Rollins. He was talking trash about him, and they felt a certain type of way about that. And they, I saw Cody address some of that, when they he does so much press and stuff off the air, and I was like,
Seth, and again, actually, we haven't talked about that though. Is the audio editing that WWE is being accused of? And actually, no longer accused of, but it's been proven. When they had that SmackDown, when they had that Raw that was filmed over in England. Multiple people, they've even taken video of it and shown that when Seth Rollins came out, and it was mixed when he first came out, but when he put that thing up saying where he said he thought he was the best wrestler in the world, he got booed to death. And WWE
he doesn't help himself on Twitter.
No, he doesn't. But here's the thing. I don't necessarily, I do think he is one of the best wrestlers in the world, but he's just, they're booking him bad. The booking is bad. And then when he comes out and he says stuff like that, he's not doing himself any favors. So at this point, since WWE have lucked into the best things that have happened to them in the last couple of years, they are literally watching the development of the perfect heel right in front of them. Turn him heel.
I think he's a better heel than a babyface anyway.
I do too.
He has that kind of voice, kind of like a kind of
yeah. But I mean, they turn CrossFit Jesus heel. But I don't know how. Do you guys follow New Japan at all?
Oh yeah, I definitely watch that stuff.
Okay.
On YouTube anyway.
What do you think about some of the Wrestle Kingdom 14's coming up, man? And I'm gonna tell you what, there's a couple of matches on there I am really excited for. Kazuchika Okada versus Kota Ibushi, man. I think this is it. I think this is the year Kota takes it.
How many times have they fought already?
They fought, oh my God, to my memory, at least 3 times.
Yeah.
But
big shows, right?
Yeah, always big show.
20 dark matches at least.
But with all of the AEW talent that moved away from there, Kota is like, they've been really pushing him hard, man. I think this is the year, and more importantly, I think we might actually get him making history and winning both the IWGP and the IWGP Intercontinental title, because Wrestle Kingdom is a 2-night event. Mm-hmm. And the first night you've got the IWGP Heavyweight Championship between Okada and Ibushi, and then the winner of that is going on to face whoever the IC champion is after Jay White fights Tetsuya Naito. So the way that they've been pushing Ibushi, they've been pushing him really, really hard, man. He might end up with both belts.
Just grab him by the Ibushi.
There you go.
But there's a pretty historic match on there. This is Jushin Thunder Liger's last match.
Yeah, he just wrestled his last match in America, I do believe, in San Jose.
Yeah. So we're seeing there's gonna be a legend that's gonna be retiring.
Put out to pasture.
Yeah.
Every time I get the New Japan app, I don't watch it because my biggest complaint about the way they do business, it's like they show all these house shows on there. It's like house show, and I'm like, what is important? What is it? I loved New Japan when the Bullet Club was hot and heavy, and like you said, AEW has taken a lot away from New Japan, and I was a big Mike Elgin fan. And when he left New Japan, I just never watched it. And plus, I can't stay up till 4 a.m. to watch Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah,
but great wrestling though.
I thought they had the replay on that where you could watch it.
Oh, you can.
Yeah. I was like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but and then the other match, I think Will Ospreay is going to be leaving the junior heavyweights. I think he's going up to start challenging for the heavyweight title. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, man. Physically, he's put on some muscle, man. He's actually bulked himself up quite a bit. So
maybe he's working out with his girlfriend because she's freaking jacked.
Oh my God!
He's still just a flippy wrestler, right?
Oh yeah, dude. He still moves like crazy, but he actually has dropped a little bit of that, and he's actually gone to being, I'd say, more along the lines of like what Kenny does.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's a little less of the absolute insane.
For a sec, that
sure.
running drop kick that Kenny Omega did, vaulting the
that was cool.
The barricade.
Yeah,
that was pretty hot.
That was awesome.
That was him that did that, right?
Yeah.
Man, though. Yeah.
My God, I was like, what?
He keeps coming up with new stuff, man.
Do you think he's really the best wrestler in the world?
I've liked him for a long time.
He's pretty freaking good, man.
Yeah.
If he's not, he's one of the top 5.
Well, it's like, that's why I've always been kind of sad about like AJ Styles. Like when AJ Styles, when he was in TNA and they were saying he was the best, I really did think he was the best.
Yeah.
But I also thought at that point you should have left and went to wrestle for Vince then.
Yeah.
Don't wait 15 years, dude, when you're like 42 years old and be like, all right, now I'm going to be the champion.
Even now, where he's at now, I still think he's one of the 10 best wrestlers in the world.
Yeah,
didn't he sign a 5-year
now, bro?
Didn't he sign a 5-year deal and said he's done when the contract ends? He's retiring.
Well, he doesn't know if he's going to retire when his contract's done, but he did say that he will end his career in WWE.
Yeah, I thought he said
he'll be in AEW.
He'll probably be done after that. But yeah, I think Ospreay's moving up to start challenging for the heavyweight title. But there's some pretty good matches on there. But yeah, I think AEW, man, when the Bucks and Cody and Kenny left, man, they took a lot of that heat with them, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, it killed the Bullet Club, which Chase Owens is from right around here where I'm from, and I love Chase, and I wish him all the success in the world in New Japan, but it's just not the same. It's not the same.
Jay White he's a good wrestler. He doesn't have that same level of charisma though. But
I mean, look at when you're talking about the Bullet Club, and you're talking about Finn Balor and AJ Styles leading the Bullet Club, and it's like,
what do you think? You think Finn's gonna start rebuilding a little bit of a stable over in NXT?
They're definitely doing that.
But I want him in the club.
We're gonna get him and Riddle against each other, right? In NXT.
Well, they're talking that eventually they want Riddle to go. They want to do a program with Riddle versus Brock.
Yeah,
I'm ready for that. But
do they want to do that, or does Riddle want to do it?
No, according to reports, that's what Triple H's end game is. He wants Riddle versus Brock because he thinks he can push
NXT. Just, or is it now? I think it is now. It's not even. It's not developmental anymore. It's just the third brand. It's like ECW.
And he said that in like conference calls like a year or so ago too.
That's what I think it's gonna hurt NXT eventually. I really, really do. Because right now I think AEW is winning the ratings war, and it's because when you look at AEW, it looks like Raw, it looks like SmackDown, and when you look at NXT, it looks like Ring of Honor. There's a huge difference to a casual fan. And that's why then you go watch Impact, and it looks like a freaking wrestling show at the Armory down the street.
Oh,
sweet
yeah.
Moses.
I do think that what they need to do is they either need to go to Full Sail, which I actually went to school at Full Sail. They need to go to Full Sail and tell them we need a bigger arena, so we can put on bigger. Like we can build this up a little bit and make it a little bit bigger and a little bit more like AEW. Or they need to stop treating it like it is the third brand. They need to go back to what made NXT.
You know what made NXT great? I mean, obviously they have great wrestlers. But
yeah.
What I loved about it, it's a 45-minute TV show once a week. So it's something fresh every week. You're rotating people in and out. You're not putting the same people on TV every week. And then the pay-per-views, it's like I think we talked about it off air. AEW not doing a monthly pay-per-view is extremely smart. It gives you time to build. Look, it's freaking expensive, man. People can't just fork out money every month. So if you give it an extra month,
Tony Khan did come out and say they're planning on doing more pay-per-views next year, and the ones that we've seen are going to be like the main ones.
I would expect more than 6 in 2020.
They did say that they were not going to go to one a month like WWE.
Yeah.
They said that they were talking that the sweet spot for them is like bi-monthly. So at the most we're going to see.
Yeah, there's 2 more. I think
6.
So, yeah.
Maybe there might be one special one in the middle or something like that, because like they did that.
So you got All In Full Gear.
You had All In, Full Gear. That was the one with Fight for the Fallen. Yeah, they do occasionally. They'll do like something like Fight for the Fallen. But the idea is to be, from what I've seen, is to be bi-monthly, and I think that's perfect.
Yep, that's the way to go.
Yeah,
I definitely thought that it got to that, especially when WCW was purchased by WWE. They were like, we don't even really, and then they were like, we can just bleed y'all every month, because then it was 2 companies with 2 pay-per-views. So it's like, so you got a WCW pay-per-view and a WWE pay-per-view, and then so now you buy WCW, so you're like, oh, okay, well we just go back to we're saving you money. We only got 1 pay-per-view, but it's still gonna be every month. And I was like, no, man.
What was it? Wasn't there? There was 1 year, wasn't there, where there was like for like a couple of the months of the year there were 2 pay-per-views per month, and I'm like, that's insane.
Yeah,
I don't want that.
They're milking it, like during the summer. Yeah, they just feel like they can milk.
Even when it's on the network and you're still just paying $9.99 a month, it's still too much. I don't want to watch it.
Yeah. And you're gonna kill. You're gonna burn people out so fast like that. And I think that's a big problem with WWE right now. Is there's a pay-per-view every month, and people just get burned out from it.
Yep.
And we're gonna have Survivor Series coming up in 2 weeks.
NXT, SmackDown, and Raw.
NXT Takeover.
The SmackDown team is so bad.
Right, Ron.
Or not the SmackDown, the Raw team. The Raw team is so bad. I feel so bad for Chad Gable, man. They have saddled him with such a horrible.
He's trying to be a company man. Oh,
he's the new Fandango. Yeah. But he's too good for that.
Breeze Dongo, is that what they were called? That was pretty fun.
God. You know what? When Fandango came back in NXT and saved Tyler Breeze, and he wasn't doing the Fandango shtick, I was legit going, dude, if he comes back and he drops the Fandango name and then like pulls like a Kevin Nash or something, just starts going by his real name or something like that, and he has a little bit more, like, because he came back, he was intense, man, in that save. I'm like, I'll watch him if he's doing that. And then the next week, right back to being Fandango again. I was like, nope, I'm out.
All right, so everybody, we've gone a little over an hour. So everybody, actually, Bob, you like NXT best, right? This week, I thought NXT put on the best show. I think AEW still was a very, very close second. Raw was just
everybody's
pretty much down on the Fed.
SmackDown, although the ratings were back up. That was
man. Any last words, anybody?
Tell your friends about this show so I can give away this Funko Pop when we hit 50 people.
You have to
I thought that was
it.
Jeff.
You have to build it.
Yeah, we'll build. I mean, there's no way
I'm trying to build by giving away free stuff.
I'm tempted. I was thinking about throwing this up on friggin' Reddit, but then again, I'm kind of scared.
I'll be scared of Reddit because I don't do it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I didn't think about Reddit. Yeah,
I was thinking about throwing it up on Reddit, but then at the same time, I'm like, man, do we really want some of the people from that crowd? Because it could get pretty ugly.
Hey, viewers are viewers. I'm like, I'm gonna take each viewer on a case by case basis. If they're wrestling fans, hey, let's get them in here, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not actually not a bad idea. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Okay. But well, maybe we'll get that going, everybody. Next week we're going to be on Antonio's channel.
That's correct.
Follow him on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah.
And until next week, goodbye, everybody.
Yeah. Back brand.
Yeah. 18 days, man. Got it. Countdown ticker.